compromise. Tires screaming loud, dirt flies free. Adrenaline rushing, it's just you and me. Engines roaring in a mad race. Mud splashing on every face. Rivals on the track ain't got a chance in this chaos we call our dance. Slide on the edge, feeling alive. Every heartbeat keeps the dream alive. Fast lane chasing every twist and turn. In the fire we crash and burn. Leading the pack, but the night is young. Running circles till the final song. Not just a game, but a war unchained. In the dust and mud, we're permanently stained. Rolling through the night, lights blur and blend. Round and round the track, no clear end. Freedom found in every spin. In the dirt we find our way.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as these drivers get ready to rock and roll from the beautiful Iowa Speedway. As our practice session has come to a close here, drivers will jump out onto the racetrack as our first set of qualifying here for a brand new series. As the Bulletproof Late Model Series gets underway here this afternoon, race number 1 of 8. These drivers jump out onto the racetrack. They're looking to try to lay down some good lap times as qualifying getting underway for the first time here on the season is the 95 ride of Alex Vance out there on the speedway. We do see the 36 ride, that 09 laser engraving, the Papa Mike Promotions number 36 ride of Joshua Ely jumps out there. Here comes Jeffrey Anders as well. Anders out there in the beautiful Down South Productions number 999 machine is the 999 ride sitting there looking to try to put down a quick lap time, trying to jump to the top of the speed charts is Randall Autry right now, up and into the top spot. The Whiskey River 38 ride goes to that pole position. We'll have to keep an eye out on that 38 ride as he will get knocked off the top spot. It's Jeffrey Anders. Anders will jump up and take the top position away, but now we do see Josh Ely jump into the number 1 position. So Ely now quickest out there on the speedway. We'll see if Anders can get a little quicker here on his second lap out there on the speedway as race number 1 of this 8 race series gets underway. Ryan Carnegie up and into third as Anders stays there in second as the 79 ride. Going to see the RC Racing number 79 machine back out there on the speedway. We do see the 5, that is Dwayne Worley out there, as well as the Junkyard Jet ready to roll here this afternoon. Jared Hughes out there on the racetrack as well. Another beautiful looking paint scheme here for Jared Hughes on the afternoon. Matthew Peacock, he'll jump out there onto the racetrack as we do see James Miller in the 8 machine. Aaron Ben Schneider in the K2 ride slides out there onto the speedway. Kenneth Fess in the number 1. He's out there, as well as the 161 as the RC Racing ride of Tyler Carnegie. We'll see Joseph Rigdon, hopefully I'm saying that right, Joseph Rigdon out there on the racetrack as we do get a new quick time. It is James Miller. Miller jumps up to the top spot and takes that pole position away from Josh Ely as Ely quickly slides back a couple spots out there on the racetrack as Kenneth Vess will slide into position number 2. Tyson Pankow now our third fastest. We'll see if he can get a little bit more speed here on lap number 2. See if he can gain that extra little bit that he is looking for. His try is take that pole position away. Does it look like Pankow can get there? But Michael Lip, he will. Lip to the top spot here as the Island Beautiful number 26 ride out there on the speedway. Now the quickest cat there on the racetrack is Ben Schneider. Jumps up in inside the top 10. We do still see Chuck Sims getting ready to lay down his laps here with the 62 ride. Josh Peacock out there, the P61, the always amazing 09 laser engraving Bulletproof Motorsports. The Down South Productions number 61 ride out there on the speedway. And Caleb Todd out there as well in the Great Lakes number 51 ride, looking to try to lay down a quick lap time. We'll see where Peacock and Caleb Todd get set up and ready to rock and roll here this evening. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as the racing action here this afternoon from Iowa Speedway will get ready to be unleashed here. These drivers will get ready to go to battle. They'll get ready to duke it out for what's going to be a absolutely amazing day of racing action. We do see Peacock jump up into the 15th spot. Caleb Todd, he slid into 17th as Chuck Sims up into 12th. And Caleb Todd does jump into that 15th position for a split moment, but we do see Josh Peacock with a great lap time. He'll jump up and into position number 2. So Michael Lipp will have some work to do here as Josh Peacock right there quickly into that second spot at the top of the speed charts, and they will start on that front row. As qualifying coming to a close here, we will get ready for our first main feature event here this year as the Bulletproof Late Model Series is about to get underway. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is going to be a good time, some great racing, and it's going to be a lot of good action here. 75 laps on the docket, so 75 laps of racing action for these drivers to compete, to battle, to see who can find their way in to victory lane, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go. They're lining up down on pit road, and we'll get them set and ready here. The start of our first feature event of the series. And starting on the pole, you can see the two of them right there. That is Michael Lipp in the 26 and the 61 of Josh Peacock, who will start first and second here this afternoon. James Miller will start in position number 3 with the ABC Hosiery? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully I'm reading that right. The one ride of Mr. Kenneth Vess will start there in position number 4. Tyson Pankow will start back in that 5th position with Josh Ely to his outside. And then we see Dwayne Worley rounding out the inside of row number 4. Jared Hughes will start there in 8th with Tyler Carnegie and Jeffrey Anders going to round out our top 10. Then we see Aaron Ben Schneider and Ryan Carnegie back there in 11th and 12th. Chuck Sims will start in 13th as Randall Autry there to his outside in position number 14. Will Klein will start in position number 15 here with Caleb Todd there to his outside. He's got Matthew Peacock back there behind him. Alex Vance there in 18th and bringing up the rear of the field in the 17. That is Joseph Rigon. As Rigon going to start back in position number 19, bringing up the tail end of the field here this afternoon as look at these drivers ready to rock and roll as our main feature event is about to get underway. The racing action just about to pick up, the battling, the door-to-door action, the rubbing and scrubbing, the elbows up racing here this afternoon from Iowa Speedway, all about to get underway as we will see one lap extra here around the racetrack as our safety vehicle gets the 1 to go symbol from our flag stand, and that means these drivers will get ready for the AMA feature event here in just a few more moments. I don't know why I'm yawning, but once you start, you can't stop. I'm trying to get over here. I normally have an energy drink. I don't have an energy drink here tonight. I got a Coca-Cola, though. Alrighty, there we go. We are ready to rumble now as down the back straightaway, and drivers, they've been working these cars back and forth, trying to build a little bit of heat up into them, trying to knock any of the debris, dust, or any of the dirt that they may have gotten tied up on the tires here around these couple pace laps. So now these tires are ready to rock and roll. These drivers are ready to go to battle. They've been anticipating this green flag for a few weeks now, leading up and into this first race of the season. We finally get to see them go to battle. As the pace car heads down pit side, we will end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Iowa Speedway. As out in front, our pole sitter, the 26 of Michael Lip, quickly going to put that lap pedal down, looking to try to pull away from the 61 ride as Peacock gets up, gets a piece of the outside fence. Pretty good contact there for the number 61 ride as he is now going to slide back and has a number 1 machine that is kind of fast down to his inside, looking to try to move around that 61. We'll have to keep an eye on Mr. Peacock here and see if that contact, that damage that he got after making that outside wall his friend here this afternoon and getting his Iowa stripes out there on the racetrack, and how that may affect the handling here for him this afternoon. As we've already seen Kenneth Fest get around him, now we do see Tyson Pankow and James Miller right there putting the pressure to his back bumper as Josh Ely just outside the top 5 has that beautiful number 5 right there on his back bumper as the Junkyard Jet back there in position. Number 7, Dwayne Worley, trying to keep on working his way towards the front of the field as Tyler Carnegie working down low. He'll make the move around Jared Hughes. Hughes will slide back into the 9th position as Carnegie will jump up into position number 8. Aaron Benschneider already up a spot, but looking for another here as he works down low on that K2 machine, as now we do see Ryan Carnegie up inside the top 10. Aaron Benschneider back into that 11th position with Chuck Sims now down to his inside. That middle groove just not very fast right now. Potentially not enough, heat in these tires, or maybe not enough grip already built up into that middle lane. And we're starting to see those drivers that are rolling that middle groove pretty consistently sliding backwards. As we do see Aaron Benschneider still trying to hold on to that 11th position. Chuck Sims still working down to his inside as Will Klein and that 95 ride. That is Alex Vance. Vance third at the rear of the field in the 95. Already trying to make some moves here, trying to work his way up towards the front of the field after starting back in 18th. We do see Vance now into the 13th position on the racetrack. A good piece of early racing here for that number 95 ride, as he does have that 51 of Caleb Todd and the 38 of Randall Autry right there behind him. Will Klein back in 16th with Joseph Rigdon back in position number 17. Jeffrey Anders unfortunately sliding backwards here as Anders all the way back into the 18th position. And for the Down South Productions 999 ride, that's not the spot you want to be out there on the speedways. Matthew Peacock, they are bringing up the rear of the field. Here's Peacock also dropping a couple spots early in this race and now finds himself back in the 19th position. Is out in front, continuing to lead the way. It is the 26 ride. Michael Lip with a fairly commanding lead, 0.8 of a second now between himself and our second place driver, Kenneth Fest, as we will see a caution flag fly. So a caution flag will be displayed here as we see some pretty heavy damage on the 5 ride of Will Klein. Let's take a look back and see what happens to the 09 laser engraving Valvoline. JP designs that Bulletproof Motorsports number 5 ride pretty tore up. Let's see what may have happened here and what may have created our first caution flag here on the season. Is some contact between him and the 17 ride. That's a big hit right there. Unfortunately, the 17, I'm not sure if he just gets loose getting into the corner. Either way, Joseph Rigdon, hopefully I'm saying that right. Rigdon getting in there a little too far. He seemed to get a little squirrely down the front straightaway. And I'm not sure, it just looks like that car pushes up the racetrack here. Takes a big run here down to the inside of that 5 ride, looking for that position, but sends it in there deep, and unfortunately a little too far, and slides up the racetrack. And right here, Just unfortunately misses that corner entry and gets up and into the 5 right, and that's where we see Will Klein go for a quick little loop here. Backs it up into the outside fence. Pretty heavy contact right there for that 5 machine as the 17 and the 6 right also making contact right there as well. So even more front end damage for the 17 right, and some pretty good damage as well for that number 6 machine, as you do see all that contact, all that damage done to that 5 right, and unfortunately that car is hurting and trying to work its way down pit side. As he's been able to get that car repaired, rolls back out onto the racetrack. We do see the 51 of Caleb Todd sliding back out there in the 8 ride of James Miller, also coming back out onto the track here now. Miller came down pit road. He was up towards the front of the field battling there in that Team Watson Racing Setups ride, as he will now be at the rear of the field and have to try to work his way back up towards the front. As Michael Lip continuing to lead the way, did not want to see that caution flag, as that'll bring Kenneth Fess right back to his rear bumper. Same with that 91 ride, as that is Tyson Pankow now into the 3rd position to his outside. That is Joshua Ely. Josh Peacock all the way back into position number 5 on the racetrack. We'll have the number 5 right of Dwayne Worley there to his outside. And we see Tyler Carnegie, Jared Hughes, Ryan Carnegie there in position number 9. Chuck Sims now running out our top 10 with Ben Schneider, Vance, Autry, Anders, Peacock rounding out our top 15. And then that's when we see Caleb Todd, James Miller, and Will Klein and Joseph Regan bringing up the rear of the field. So we got them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here from Iowa Speedway. As quickly that 5 right of Kenneth Fess onto the left pedal, he'll slide up and over the nose of the 1 machine of Kenneth Fess, trying to keep Fess back there at bay as Michael Lip continues to show them how to get it done here in this one. Looking for a big run though. Down the back straightaway comes that Chevrolet of Kenneth Fess. Fess sticking right to the back bumper of our race leader, not letting him run away as quickly as he did here in that first stint of racing action. Josh Ely now up and into 3rd here, so Ely on that restart able to make the move and get around the 91 of Tyson Pankow. As Josh Peacock sits back in position number 5, we do see Worley still right there behind him with Tyler Carnegie, Jared Hughes, Ryan Carnegie, and Aaron Benschneider rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. As Michael Lip continues to show him how to get it done here in this one, trying to open up a bit of a lead here once again. A couple car lengths between himself and Kenneth Fess, as Fess trying to stay right there in position number 2, not letting him really run away with this one. As Jorson, hopefully I'm saying that right, Jorson Webb's coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube, says, what's up, Jorson? Hopefully I'm getting that right now. I'm probably absolutely murdering it, but hopefully, Mr. Webb, we get that cleared up. Hopefully I'm saying it somewhat correctly, but hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful day as we get to the racing action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as some great battling out there on the Speedway, back and forth here for a lot of these positions. Right now, Kenneth Fess trying to hunt down our race leaders. We'll get a good look here around the racetrack and kind of what these drivers see. Obviously, this is a out-of-car perspective, and you get to see kind of really where they're hitting their marks, where they're rolling around these corners, and where they're trying to find all that speed here on the Speedway. It's Iowa Speedway, always such a beautiful racetrack to come and race at. The fans in the stands are all up on top of their feet. They're cheering these drivers on, and they're ready to see some more amazing racing, and they're going to get every single little bit of it that they can. It's we've got about 60 laps left here in this A main feature event, so the laps are slowly but surely clicking down, but knowing that we still got that much time, you can be very cautious on what you need to do, where you need to try to make either some in-race pit stops or what you need to do out there on the racetrack to make sure that you keep yourself in contention here throughout the evening and not run into problems, whether it's a bad strategy call out there on the racetrack or potentially coming down using tires when you may not need them. excuse me, as you may not need the tires here, but Iowa, man, it tends to really chew up tires, so it's going to be interesting to see when or if these drivers will have to come down pit road. We normally see the NASCAR Cup cars head down pit side around lap, 30, 40, somewhere in that area, and I think that's a really big spot we're going to see a lot of these drivers kind of focus on, is probably around that 40 lap marker. That's going to give them more than enough to make it to the end of this race and potentially give them a little bit of extra fuel for potential green-white checker finishes. As out in front, it is that 26 ride who continues to lead the way. Some great racing action, and Michael Lipp showing these drivers that he is going to be that car to beat here this afternoon. As their freight train here at the front of the field, all the way back into about the 7th position, as you do see that one ride taking a peek down low, hoping to find a bit of a gap underneath of the 26, and we may be seeing the first battle for the race lead out there on the speedway. Some great battling as Kenneth Best looking to try to jump up and take position number 1 away from our race leader. Now you do see that 36 rider Josh Ely, he's working to the back bumper of Kenneth Best, trying to use that against him here. Was hoping to get that run that he could use to slide up into position number 2 here himself. And some great racing action. You're going to throw a blanket over our top 5, top 6, top 7 right there, as you do see that 161 of Tyler Carnegie back in that 7th position. Has about a 1.3 second gap between himself and our 4th place or 8th place driver, the number 2 K2 ride of Aaron Benschneider. He's got a bit of a gap back to the 9th place driver Ryan Carnegie, with Chuck Sims right there on his back bumper. There we see a few car lengths back to James Miller, as Miller trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field. That's where we see Alex Vance, Jared Hughes, Caleb Todd back there rounding out our top 14. Randall Autry there in the 15th position with Matthew Peacock, Jeffrey Anders, Will Klein, and Joseph Rigdon bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. And some great racing, especially here at the front of the field. These drivers continue to battle door to door out there on the racetrack, and we continue to inch closer and closer to our checkered flag, as we're already 21 laps complete here. Lap 22 just going up onto the board, so we're getting closer and closer to that 1/3 marker here. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be very, very interesting to see what these drivers can do throughout this final, 1/3 or 2/3 of this race, and see if they can make the moves and work their way at the right time to the front of the field, and see if they can hang on to it and potentially pick up a big win here this afternoon. I actually got to quickly go pee, ladies and gentlemen, as I don't want to have to go pee this early, but I'm going to go quickly use the bathroom. I'm going to be right back in a quick couple seconds. What we're going to do is a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. So just quickly crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers as we will crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alrighty, a quick caution flag right there. Perfect timing as we just get back from our bathroom break out there on the racetrack. That'll bring it close to our Peacemaker Gaming crank it up, as the crank it up caution flag curse will continue here this afternoon as these drivers use a quick little crank it up. A good look inside the race car there of Josh Peacock as we'll get ready to go back to battle. But we'll take a look back and see what brings out this caution flag, as unfortunately looks like Ryan Carnegie, who's having himself a great run and a great race here up inside the top 10, trying to hold off the 8 ride. They're going to make contact down the front straightaway. That's going to send that 79 down into the infield. Luckily enough, trying to keep it out of the inside wall, but washes back up the racetrack. And look out, as that was Matthew Peacock almost making some pretty heavy contact there with him. As let's take a look back here. See this contact is door to door for the 8 and the 79 down the front straightaway, and just looks like the 8 ride gets a little loose here. Not sure what happens in behind the wheel of this 8 machine, but let's take a look right here as we were on board with Ryan Carnegie at this point. Let's see if we can find the 8 ride, which I do believe is James Miller. Let's take a look. Miller down low. See what happens here. He's on corner exit. Not sure if he comes up or if the 79 comes down. Either way, they just end up making that contact, and as they do, I see the 8 just kind of slides up the racetrack there a little bit. The car just shoots up half the lane right there, clips that left rear quarter panel of that number 79 ride, and that's where he will go around, and that's where the caution flag will come out. As you do see the 8 ride up and into the outside fence here. This is where things can get very, very treacherous in a quick hurry, as he is slow on the racetrack, and you watch all these other drivers trying to avoid the 8 ride and trying to avoid the 79 out there on the racetrack. Good piece of driving for everybody, able to avoid any additional contact, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. We did see pretty much everybody head down pit side, get some work done to their race cars, get some fuel as well, and potentially some tires onto their machines, as we will get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. As out in front, taking the race lead away down pit road is the 36 ride of Josh Ely. Ely now leading the way here with Josh Peacock back up into second. Michael Lipp back there into the 3rd spot onto the racetrack with Dwayne Worley there in position number 5. Kenneth Vest, James Miller, Tyson Pankow, Aaron Benschneider, Tyler Carnegie, and Chuck Sims rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway, as we will get them stacked up, racked up, and ready to go back to green flag racing here this afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, and hit that follow and subscribe button, as we will get ready to go back to green flag racing here from Iowa Speedway. The laps continue to get clicked down here, as we will go back to green flag racing with 26 laps completed. Lap 27 will go up onto the board, and then we still have about 50 laps left of this race, man. We are pretty close to that 50 lap marker left in this one, so about 48, 49 laps of racing action here for these competitors. And so far, early on in the first third of this race, we saw 2 caution flags. Does that mean maybe more to come here? Will we see another couple yellow flags throughout this feature event and really make things that much more difficult for these drivers here this evening, having to deal with those caution flags? As Jeffrey Anders, Mr. Anders, coming in with that share on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Jeffrey. Jeffrey coming in, showing the big love here, smashing that share button on the broadcast. It's out in front. It is Josh Ely. Ely leading the way here as he heads down the back straightaway, looking for a big run out of that number 36 ride. As Josh Ely trying to hold on to the race lead, as he's got Peacock in that 26 ride of Michael Lipp right there behind him. Kenneth Fetz back in forth with Dwayne Worley rounding out our top 5 here on the racetrack, as Worley still trying to work his way up towards the front of the field. As that JUJ Racing Adventure YouTube channel on that 5 ride, trying to work his way to the front of the field here. A beautiful looking paint scheme, beautiful looking ride, and he's going to continue to try to keep on racing his way towards that front of the field. is Bryce Richardson. What's good, Bryce? Bryce coming in, showing the love as well with that like on the broadcast. How are you, Richardson? How are you doing this afternoon? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful evening and some great racing action here from the great state of Iowa Speedway. These drivers continuing to battle, continue to race here around the speedway, and Josh Ely out in front. He's hoping to try to open up a bit of a lead here, trying to pull away from the rest of the pack, but right there, sticking to his back bumper is that 61 of Josh Peacock and that 26 of Michael Lipp, as they are not giving any breathing room to the race leader here in this middle portion of the feature event. And slowly but surely, you see Kenneth Vest joining that battle, trying to make that a four-car fight here at the front of the field. Alrighty, is Ely at the front of the pack here. You do see Peacock washes up the speedway. That'll open up the inside lane here as the Island 26 ride trying to jump back up and into second here. Got the open door, and he's going to make it count as he'll slide up and in front of Josh Peacock. Peacock will slide back to third here, but he says, I'm not done yet. I want to continue to battle for this second spot on the racetrack. Tries to cross over and work that inside groove, but down and out at corner number 4. That 26 will stay in position number 2, and he's looking to go back after our race leader, Josh Ely, for the race lead. As Josh Peacock back in third, does have that one right. Kenneth Vest still working to his back bumper. Alrighty, is Peacock trying to hold on to that number 61 right. We saw it that late in that first run after probably about 20 laps or so for the 61 ride. He started to fall backwards there, and before that caution flag, he was back in this fourth or potentially even that 5th place out there on the speedway, and unfortunately he's some really good short run speed for that 61 ride, but seems like on the longer runs that car gets a little bit tighter and a little bit tougher to tame out there on the speedway, as Dwayne Worley continues to keep on trying to march his way towards the front of the field as he sits there in position number 5. Tyson Pankow back in 6th with Tyler Carnegie there in 7th. Aaron Benschneider in that K2 machine strolls there in position number 8. Chuck Sims and Caleb Todd now rounding out our top 10 here on the speedways. Chuck Sims trying to hold on to that 9th spot, but that number 51 ride to stay inside the top 10 after gaining 6 positions already. He's been a man moving towards the front of the field. Same with the couple drivers back here behind him who are on the outside of the top 10 looking in. That is Alex Vance in that number 95 ride. Early on in this race, up 7 positions. Joseph Rigon, after his earlier mix-up out there on the racetrack, the 17, trying to battle back strong here, and he has now worked himself up and into position number 12, and that puts him and Alex Vance both into the lucky dog or the hard charger position on the racetrack, both picking up 7 spots here in this main feature event. We'll keep an eye on them, see if they can continue to work their way closer and closer to the front of the field and pick off even more positions to start their race season off on the right foot. Is out in front, Josh Ely. Ely continuing to lead the way here. Ely out in front of the field, showing these drivers that he may be the car to beat us. Look out, we do have a car around the 17 of Joseph Rigdon going around there. So Joseph Rigdon having some issues at 17. Will go for a do-si-do down the front straightaway, and that's where we'll see our 3rd caution flag fly. Let's take a look at it here, as it looks like the 8 machine of James Miller potentially going to get into the back end of him here now. Miller, I'm not sure if he had any initial contact with it, as it looked like the 17 coming out of corner number 4, getting back onto the loud pedal, potentially maybe just stepped on it there a little bit. Looks like that car getting a little bit loose, but also I don't know, may have had a little bit of help right there from that 8 machine, maybe just not checking up quite quickly enough and making that contact as the 17 was struggling there on corner exit in the 8. Trying to take advantage of it, just misjudges it, gets into the back end and takes that 17 ride for a quick loop-de-loop down on the front straightaway. So that means caution flag number 4 is done and gone, and we will get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Now, we did not see a lot of drivers head down pit road here, but we do see Michael Lip and Josh Ely both come down pit side. So Lip and Ely both down onto pit road here. Interesting calls for a couple of these competitors. Kind of coming off sequence right now. Running a little bit of a different strategy coming down pit side. Now we'll have to wait and see if they get tires or if it's just going to be fuel. You do see that right side getting jacked up for the 26. So it looks like he's at least putting right side tires. And there you go. Jack comes down. The tank is back filled up. He'll roll back out onto the racetrack and use that one set of tires there on the right-hand side. See if that can help him race his way up towards the front of the field, as he's going to have to make up a lot of positions. Same with, excuse me there, Josh Ely is our race leader at the time of the caution flag. Ely in that beautiful KC Speed 09 laser engraving, Milner Media Designs, the Papa Mike Promotions, number 36 ride, going from leading to this race to being at the back of the pack and hoping to keep on marching his way up and through the field here. Maybe a couple fresh set tires, maybe an extra little bit of fuel, a little bit of that strategy, maybe playing dividends here for this number 36 and for that number blank now 26 of Michael Lip, as they both came down pit road during this caution flag, and it could be a big make or break decision for them out there on the racetrack. So we will get them stacked up, we will get them racked up, we will get ready to go back to green flag racing as our new race leader out there on the speedway is this number 1 ride, Kenneth Vess. Sees the 2 cars in front of him come down pit road, a little bit of an off-sequence pit stop, and now he finds himself here at the front of the field and looking to try to run away with this one. As, man, some great racing action here already this evening. These guys been going back and forth and battling out there on the racetrack, and it's going to get very, very interesting for the finish of this feature event, as you see already 40 laps down off the board here. So we're down to about a Saturday night shootout here. 35 laps of racing action left here this evening, as Greg Beasley Jr. coming in, showing the love with that share on the broadcast. How are you, Greg? Greg coming in, showing the pink glove, smashing that share button here on the live stream. As we do get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. Who's going to have the car? Who's going to have the winning strategy here this afternoon to try and put themselves as the first driver here in the Bulletproof Late Model Series to find their way in to victory lane here at Iowa Speedway for our inaugural race and the first race here of the series? As these guys get ready to go back to battle, they get ready to duke it out here once again, as Greg Beasley Jr. coming in, smashing that thumbs up on the broadcast as well. I appreciate that. Great, showing the love here in this one. Is out in front, the 1 ride. Kenneth Vess with a great restart, quickly sliding out in front and pulling away from the rest of the field, and it may be just what the doctor ordered here for that one machine of Kenneth Vess to try to find his way up and into victory lane, as he does have Peacock and Worley still door to door back there behind him. And Worley doing everything he can, trying to get this car hooked up down low, trying to make that pass on that 61 of Peacock, but it looks like Peacock able to just barely hold him off, and now potentially a big run coming out of that 91 ride, as Tyson Pankow hoping to take advantage of it, looking to see if he can jump up and into that 3rd spot, maybe the 2nd spot here, as that 91 ride getting faster and faster throughout this afternoon's racing actions. Let's go, Doug Miller. Doug Miller coming in, showing the love as well, dropping that like on the broadcast. How are you, Doug? Doug coming in, showing the love as well with the thumbs up here this afternoon as some great racing action for all the fans in the stands to enjoy here this evening. Is out in front. Cannon Fest continues to lead the way. Josh Peacock sits there solidly in position number 2 now as Dwayne Worley will slide back into position number 3. Sitting back in that 4th spot on the racetrack is Tyson Pankow. Then we see Tyler Carnegie back in position number 5. A great run so far for Mr. Carnegie, as Tyler Carnegie, man, he's been right up there inside the top 10, top 5, battling hard all afternoon, and we'll see if he can try to keep on working his way up towards the front of the field. Same with Aaron Benschneider, Chuck Sims, and Alex Vance, as they've been battling their way up here towards the front of the field. We'll have to wait and see if maybe it's going to end up being a field strategy kind of a race. Maybe we'll see a couple of players trying to make some late race caution flags and some late race, big moves here with some extra work, a little bit of extra gear into the race car, maybe a little bit of extra to help them find their way into victory lane and around some of these other competitors here at the front of the field. As Cannon Fest continues to show these drivers how to get it done. Peacock sitting still solidly there in 2nd. Worley back there in 3rd with Tyson Pankow. And Tyler Carnegie back in 5th. Aaron Benschneider now into position number 6. Another great run here for Aaron Benschneider as well. And now he's looking down low on that 161 ride. He's looking to try to move himself up inside the top 10 or top 5 here on the Speedway as Alex Vance back there in 7th. James Miller back in 8th as we see Chuck Sims and Michael Lip unfortunately back in the 9th and 10th position. As Lip now running at our top 10, he does have Josh Ely right there behind him. As Ely still trying to race his way back up towards the front of the field, but he's got to be careful moving through that traffic as we did see the 79 of Ryan Carnegie get into the outside fence right there and lose a ton of momentum down through corner number 1 and 2 on the racetrack. As some great looking paint schemes, man. These guys really went to work and put together some beautiful looking race cars here for this main feature event and for the start of this series here this evening. And we're going to see these guys continue to get some fresher paint schemes and some amazing paint schemes here as these guys do their own work, their own paint schemes, and man, they look absolutely amazing. One of those being included is the 79 ride as the beautiful RC paints machine looking fresh out there on the Speedway, continuing to try to race his way back up inside the top 10, looking to see if he can try to join his brother or his cousin, Tyler Carnegie, there towards the front of the field as Carnegie's once again here with the Bulletproof Motorsports, looking to try to cash in on some of these races, maybe find a couple of trips into victory lane and maybe a championship in the future for one of the Carnegies. But it looks like this season it's going to be some very tight racing and very tough for some of these drivers to try to jump up there and beat, bang, and battle with them and take some of these race leads away as we get 25 laps left to go here in this feature event. So only 25 more laps of racing action here this evening. As you do see that 61 of Peacock working down low, seeing if he can try to make this late race charge to the front of the field. As that P61 sits in position number 2. That number 1 rider, Cannon Fest, still trying to hold him off, hoping to try to get a little bit of ground here. Maybe trying to open up a slight lead between himself and that 61 ride, trying to give himself a little bit of breathing room, but Peacock not giving him an inch out there on the racetrack, sticking right to his back bumper. Now taking a little bit of a look down low, hoping to find a good run down through 1 and 2 as Peacock trying to battle for this race lead. I know Josh would love to try to quickly find his way into victory lane here on the season, try to get it out of the way and try to set himself up for what could be a major championship here in the Bulletproof Late Model Series. as you do see that 61 was able to make the move, able to steal that race lead away, but Kenneth Betts quickly battling right back in that second spot, and he is already down low looking underneath of Josh Peacock for position number 1 here on the racetrack. And now as they continue to battle door to door out there on the racetrack, they are going to be running some slower lap times, and that'll bring the rest of those drivers that are back behind them closer and closer to their back bumper. Once again, they get back to single file as Peacock continues to lead the way here in this one. Best does slide back into position number 2 as we see a battle back here for that 3rd spot on the racetrack. As a good battle brewing here between Dwayne Worley and the 91 of Tyson Pankow as we see the caution flag fly. A late race yellow flag on the speedway as it looks like Joseph Rigdon goes around here in this one. Looks like Rigdon having a couple more problems out there on the speedway. Let's take a look here at that 17 ride. It's done a little deeper in the field. The 6 of Peacock underneath of them. They make contact here on the back straightaway, and that's where we'll see that 17 ride go up and around and backs it hard into the inside fence right there. A pretty good hit for that 17. Hopefully not too much rear end damage. We'll take a look here at that contact once again, as I'm not sure if that was maybe payback between the two of them early in this race, or if the 6 right at a corner exit just gets a little loose here and gets up and into the 17. Let's see if we get another angle at this here. See that contact as looks like the 17 coming down the racetrack. The 6 ride just kind of trying to get the drive off the corner that he was hoping for, trying to clear the 38 machine, and I think with the 17 kind of cutting down the speedway, on a little bit of a different line here, more of a slide job cut down line out there on the racetrack, and right there through middle of corner number 2, he just shoots it down to the bottom of the racetrack there and goes down and over the nose of that 6 right now. Luckily enough, everyone else able to avoid additional contact with that 17, as we do see a lot of drivers down pit road getting work done to their rides here, and see if this is going to be potentially their final pit stop on the day, and maybe their final opportunity to throw some tires onto their cars and see if they can race their way into consideration here for that checkered flag this evening. Is out in front, we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing, as now leading the way it is James Miller. Miller out in front leading the way as the 26 ride of Michael Lip there in position number 2. We'll get them ready to roll here. We'll get ready to go to battle as the laps continue to get clicked down here this evening. Only about 20 laps of racing action left to go here from Iowa Speedway. So the laps are already clicking down in a quick hurry, and this race inches closer to our first winner of the season, as Doug Miller coming in showing the love as well. Mr. Miller coming in smashing that like on the broadcast there on Facebook, as ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're not only live over on Facebook, we're also live over on YouTube and Twitch as well, so you can catch all of the racing action on your favorite streaming platforms, and that way you guys can view and watch from your favorite perspectives and never miss any of the action here on Peacemaker Gaming, as we will get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle here as the lights are once again off of the official iRacing pace car, and we will get ready to go back to green flag racing as the Team Watson Racing Setups number 8 ride at the front of the field now, looking to try to keep these guys back there at bay. It's going to be interesting to see if he'll be able to keep them back here, or if one of these other drivers will be able to jump up, make that move, and maybe try to put themselves into the winner's circle. We see our pole sitter there now on the outside of that front row. Michael Lip, after leading a lot of laps early in this race, gets a little contact right there as things were stacking up. This restart getting a little bit antsy. Drivers trying to make some moves. You do see that 17 right at Joseph Rigon up there as we see some contact quickly. Green flag out, but the caution flag going to follow it. Caution flag going to quickly come back out here as some contact there on the restart. And Joshua Ely gonna end up turned around, nosed up into the outside fence, and a heartbreaker there for Ely here on this restart. Let's take a look back and see what happens here as Ely just trying to keep himself out of trouble. He's restarting back in third and hoping for a good restart to stay on the back bumper here of our race leader, and it looks like Tyler Carnegie gonna get in there, sitting back just ever so slightly, trying to time that restart. Unfortunately, mistimes it, misjudges it, gets a big run here, closes that gap between himself and the 36 of Josh Ely in a quick hurry, and ends up just slamming into the back end of that 161 ride. You also see, I'm not sure if the 161 actually sped up or if something may have happened here. Watch the 8 ride. Just seems like he gets super slow out of corner number 4 here now. I'm sure that's a bit of a strategy move, trying to make sure that you can kind of keep some of these drivers on their tippy toes for this restart. You see the 26 is going to kind of go here. The 8 ride still not back onto the throttle. 36 can't go anywhere, waiting for the 8 ride to start moving. And I think, we see Carnegie and some of these other guys either just keeping pace or starting to speed up, getting antsy there for this restart. And that's where you see that 161 drive into the back end there of Josh Ely. That spins Ely around. Then we see a few drivers getting into the back end, just chain reaction there from that contact into Tyler Carnegie here. And Carnegie gets into the Ely ride. You see Josh Peacock ends up getting into the 161. That's going to get him jacked up. Then he's going to get turned around here. He goes down the racetrack. You see Tyson Pankow having to play dodge car right there. Luckily enough, avoids any additional contact and damage there for himself as he was able to just get out of the way. And luckily enough, avoids heavy damage and potentially a big mistake there, and potentially a wreck that could take him out of this race and out of a solid finishing position. As we'll get them all ready to roll here once again. We were able to get about a lap in right there. I'm not sure if that actually officially counted as a lap or not, but nonetheless, we digress and we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing as Levi Williams. Levi coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. How are you, Levi? Levi coming in, smashing that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. How are you tonight, brother? How are you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful evening as lights are still on the official iRacing pace car. Now, I do believe caution laps are not counting here, so that should make things very interesting. You do see this 8 ride down on the apron here. A lot of dirty rubber and dirt and debris and everything else down there on the bottom side of the racetrack. Gotta be careful as he does head down pit side, so interesting call here. Gonna give up that race lead for James Miller, and he's gonna make his way down pit side. Wait and see if this is potentially the final pit stop for that number 8 machine, or if we'll see these guys go back down pit road in front of them. I'm not sure if we will see another pit stop here out of the rest of these drivers that were just momentarily down pit road around lap number 55 here, but other drivers have been out there for quite a bit of extra time here. We see Joseph Rigdon. He's been out there since lap 26, so he's bound to come down pit road here sooner rather than later. And even our race leader now, as Michael Lipp, will get the race lead back. He was last down pit road on lap 39, so he's got quite a bit older tires and a little bit less fuel in that 26 ride as well. So we'll have to wait and see what's in store for these restarts in these closing laps out there on the racetrack. Does he have enough fuel? Does he have enough tire to keep the rest of these drivers back there at bay? Is a little bit more contact there on the restart. Everyone so far able to keep themselves pointed in the right direction as Michael Lipp will lead us down into corner number 1. So Lipp out in front, looking to try to run away with this one quickly, opening up a couple car lengths here as we do see the caution flag come back out. A couple drivers tied together, including this 5 ride of Wayne Gorley. We do see, or of Wayne Worley. Matthew Peacock there tied up in that one, as well as we do see James Miller roll back out onto the racetrack. Chuck Sims got tied up in that, as well as the 17 of Joseph Rigdon. As Rigdon, unfortunately, Kind of right in the middle of it here this afternoon. Unfortunately, that car's been bounced around a couple of times here, and we'll take another look at it, see how this one kind of gets started, as I do believe it starts with that 17, as looks like Peacock down low on him here, trying to take that third spot away. Peacock has the inside lane. He's already underneath of the 17, and looks like they kind of get together there on corner entry. The 17 getting a little bit squirrely after that contact, and coming down the racetrack just drives down over the nose there of Matthew Peacock. Peacock really nowhere else for him to go there. Can't really get any lower down onto the racing surface here, off the racing surface, and we'll see this contact being made. Let's take another look at it here. It's a little loose there, coming down the racetrack, and that time comes down and over the nose of the 61, comes back up and into Kenneth Fess. That's a big hit right there for Kenneth Fess. Fess hard up into the outside fence, and you do see Peacock going to run into more issues here as well as on corner exit. He's also going to go around right there, that contact, the tail end of the little bit of an incident there with him and the 17. That's going to send that number 61 right around, and you see all of a sudden Tyson Pankow nowhere to go. The 5 ride of Dwayne Worley nowhere to go. The 51 machine going to slide in there as well. Caleb Todd, heavy contact into that 61 machine of Josh Peacock. Peacock nosed up into the outside fence pretty heavily, and more contact down low as more drivers kind of getting taken out and around here in this one, as everyone kind of bouncing around, everyone getting into it. You do see the 6 and the 17 slammed together right there. It was a hard enough hit that the 6 ride actually ended up losing a little bit of connection right there. Hit him so hard his bandwidth went out the window. As keep a look here at the 62. This is Chuck Sims. Sims trying to work his way through it here as the contact in front of him. You see Peacock come down low, and all of a sudden Pankow goes around the 6 right there as well. Contact helping the 62 up and into the outside fence, and a lot of tore up race cars down through quarter number 2 in the back straightaway here at Iowa Speedway. And once again, back-to-back caution flags really dicing things up here, especially at the front of the field. Is leading the way is still Michael Lipp. Aaron Benschneider holding on to that second position as Ryan Carnegie now into position number 3 with Randall Autry. They're in position number 4. The 5 ride, that is Will Klein with Alex Vance. They're in position number 6. Tyler Carnegie back up into 7th with Jared Hughes. Jeffrey Anders and Joseph Rigdon rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack, as we'll get them stacked up and ready to go back to battle here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, this has been a heck of a race, a heck of a show here. Each and every one of these drivers put on a hell of an event for us here for our season opener with the Bulletproof Motorsports crew. Is down at a corner number 4. We will see that green flag fly come back out into the air. The 26, the control car, Michael Lipp, will be able to kind of fire off whenever he pleases down here through the Geico restart zone, and he will quickly try to take advantage of it, slide up the racetrack in front of that K2 of Aaron Benschneider. Benschneider couldn't quite get the run he was hoping for to either stay door to door with that 26 or get a lane down low underneath of him there, and unfortunately settles in into position number 2, and now trying to mount a challenge to that 26's back bumper, but quickly already Michael Lipp just laying down some great qualifying lap times, and he's opened up his race lead to about 7/10 of a second there on our first lap back to green flag racing, as Aaron Benschneider now has a bit of a gap between himself and Ryan Carnegie. Carnegie trying to hold on to position number 3 here on the racetrack is Tyler Carnegie and Kenneth Fess door to door back there for position number 4. Will Klein there in 6 with James Miller back up into 7th. Randall Autry there in 8th with Alex Vance and Jeffrey Andrews rounding out the top 10 as the Down South Productions 999 ride rolls there in position number 10. Some great racing action, a lot of great battling here on the Speedway. You see Tyson Pankow right there. He's trying to work his way back up towards the top 5, top 10 here on the Speedway. You see Jared Hughes right there, as well as Dwayne Worley. Chuck Sims back there. Josh Peacock all the way back in the 15th position as Josh Ely right there. Right there behind him was Ely, so Ely trying to work his way back up towards the front of the field as well. Definitely not the start to the series that either the 36 or the 61 were hoping for, as they're looking to try to make up a lot of ground and race their way back up inside the top 10, back inside the top 5, and maybe back to the front of the field, as we saw Peacock and Ely both need some laps here this evening, as they'll all be chasing down this number 26 as Michael Lipp now out in front here by about 1.8 seconds. The only driver out there on the Speedway that had the race lead and was able to open up a pretty solid advantage between themselves and the rest of the field back there behind them. So Michael Lipp definitely shown that he has that car to be even on a bit of a different strategy than everybody else this 26 ride. Seeing the laps click down at a quick hurry and seeing that gap between himself and position number 2 continuing to grow as well. There's only 13 more trips around this racetrack here, as that number 26 looking to pick up the checkered flag. The last thing he wants to see is a late race caution flag. He wants to see this one go clean and green right down to the end of this one, trying to keep this race from caution free here in the final 15-20 laps of this race, after seeing, back-to-back caution flags there, and quickly having, that bit of a break for these drivers, and noticing that anything gonna happen in a quick hurry, and your good night can turn into a bad night at the drop of a hat when you're surrounded by some other fast cats. That contact and the issues and the caution flags are bound to happen, and unfortunately a few drivers nowhere to go or getting tied up in some of these incidences here this evening, and now just trying to play catch up, trying to rebound from those mistakes out there on the racetrack, or from those problems that they ran into. Is down across the line this time for that 26 ride. We'll see only 10 more laps left to go, and there's the caution flag we were talking about. Caution flag back out onto the racetrack here. So another late race yellow flag with only 10 laps left of racing action here with the Bulletproof Late Model Series. Race number 1 here from Iowa Speedway, and another yellow flag. Let's take a look back and see where this one may have happened. Looks like Joseph Rigdon, unfortunately, running into more issues here on the racetrack. Let's keep an eye out here on the 17 ride as you see the damage on the 17. Looks like he's trying to get this thing down pit side, gets in there a little bit too fast, unfortunately misses pit entry right there. The car gets stopped on the racetrack, and he's trying to throw it into the reverse, trying to get it back down onto pit road. Ends up getting some more damage in contact with those safer barriers, and gets into them again, as you see that right front just really not pointing in the right direction here, and definitely struggling with that race car. The handling completely gone, as all 4 corners now with some pretty solid damage on it, and unfortunately that's going to be a tough one to come back from. And then at the same time, as he was running into those issues, I do believe we're going to see potentially Dwayne Worley run into some problems here again as well. Let's take a look here as Dwayne ends up getting into the back end there of Josh Peacock. Peacock goes around hard up into the outside fence. Yeah, that was a big hit right there to the back bumper of that number 61P, as Peacock was able to just get around him here, and then on the back straightaway, Peacock trying to still race his way towards the top 10 in that beautiful junkyard jet ride. Just gets a big run, gets into the back end of that 61, and that's a big hit right there for Josh Ely. A big hit for the 5 ride, and a huge hit there for that 999 machine, as it's a pretty good piece up there in the outside fence. And the 6 ride of Matthew Peacock also getting tied up here. We'll take a look on board the helmet cam here of Matthew Peacock, see what he can see here from the cockpit, as all of a sudden he's going to see his brother turned up and around here and into the outside fences. There's that initial contact, tries to go to the high side. Unfortunately, Josh Peacock already spinning around up there, and heavy damage there for him. So a tough break. That car heavily damaged. That wheel cranked 90 plus or 180 yards or 180 degrees to the left here, and trying to get this thing to turn, proving pretty difficult out there on the racetrack. As we'll get everyone hopefully down pit side, get the repairs that they're looking for, and get them back out here for some more racing action. As we do see Dwayne Worley, he's back down pit road. Matthew Peacock down there, as well as Joseph Rigon. He will roll back out onto the speedway. James Miller and Jared Hughes, unfortunately, both off of the racetrack as of now. So a heartbreaker there for Jared Hughes and James Miller. So see Miller racing up towards the front of the field. We saw Jared Hughes up there as well, and unfortunately both those drivers now score back in the 18th and 19th position. As you do see during this caution break, we're going to see our race leader head down pit side here as well. So another huge strategy call, and all of a sudden we see the number 26 of Michael Lipp going from the race lead now back into position number 11. Now losing all that track position here late in this race. Could be a huge deciding factor between picking up this win or unfortunately having someone else up and in victory lane here this afternoon. So we'll have to keep an eye and see if Michael can rebound from it, or if Aaron Benschneider, Kenneth Vess, one of these drivers up here at the front of the field, can try to find their way into victory lane. Be a little bit of a blessing in disguise on this Monday afternoon. Alrighty, green flag back out into the air as the K2 ride out in front with only 9 more laps left to go. Can somebody find themselves a way around Aaron Benschneider, or can Benschneider find his way into victory lane as he battles now door to door with Kenneth Vess? Vess gets a great run down through 1 and 2 down the back straightaway. He'll take that momentum and take that race lead away from Aaron Benschneider, as Benschneider back in position number 2 as the caution flag does fly here once again. So the caution flag will come back, and we'll take another look back here in this one, as it looks like the 95 ride of Alex Vance going to run into some issues. Potentially a little contact here between himself and the 62 of Chuck Sims. Chuck Sims in the 95, a little too wide into the corner, and some contact there, and unfortunately more contact as the 51 trying to take advantage of that 95 ride, and all of a sudden the 99 has, or the 999 ride has nowhere to go, and he gets tied up into that one as Caleb Todd, pretty heavy damage. That 95 ride also heavily damaged, and I believe that is the 999 ride. Look back here, is just got nowhere to go as the 51 comes back down the racetrack over the nose there of that 999 machine. I do believe that is potentially Jeffrey Anders. Yeah, Jeffrey Anders there in that 999 machine, the Down South Productions machine. Some pretty heavy front end damage there in that exchange and that caution flag. So another couple laps under the yellow flag, and another opportunity for these drivers to find something here on this restart, and a lucky break for the K2 as he was able to stay as our race leader as the lap wasn't officially completed there until these drivers went down across the start finish line. Luckily enough, the yellow flag came back out and couldn't register the one of Kenneth Vess as our race leader. So Benschneider will get ready for another restart here and another opportunity to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay and to find his way into victory lane. Alrighty, so we will get ready to go back to green flag racing. Is out in front. Aaron Benschneider gonna get ready for another massive restart, trying to keep every one of these cats back there behind him at base, seeing if he can get this pink K2 ride up and into victory lane here in race number 1 of our 8-week series. Starting here at Iowa Speedway, definitely a very interesting racetrack, a very fun and unique racetrack. We're trying to keep these drivers on their toes. As Benschneider, a perfect restart right there, keeping that one ride back there at bay, but you quickly see Kenneth Fess staying there in front of that 161 of Tyler Carnegie's. Carnegie up there battling as well at the front of the field. Good to see Tyler Carnegie back up here after his earlier incident as the K2 ride that time around, able to keep that one machine of Kenneth Fess back there at bay as Aaron Benschneider continues to lead this race. Benschneider out in front, but may not be for long, as here comes Vest once again. Fire out of a canyon down the back straightaway. The one rider, Kenneth Vest, pulls door to door and sends it deep down low into corner number 3 and 4. Vest looking for that race lead, able to slide up in front of Aaron Benschneider. Benschneider, though, trying to battle back down low. Benschneider down to the inside here, looking underneath of that one rider, Kenneth Vest. But Vest looking for a big run, trying to carry that momentum down and out of corner number 2, and that's exactly what he'll do, as Kenneth Vest is now our new race leader here on the Speedway, as Aaron Benschneider slides back into position number 2. A little contact there, look out. Oh baby, I'm not sure who that was, but we saw a couple drivers have some issues down low on the bottom side of the racetrack, and one of those drivers being, I believe that's the 79 ride. More contact, around goes Will Klein. There's another late race caution flag. Another late race caution flag with only 5 more laps left to go here. As Will Klein going to get turned around and unfortunately hard up into the outside fence. Now if we take a look back here, I want to take a look down and out at corner number 4. We see a couple drivers run into issues. I believe one of those being the 79 ride. Ryan Carnegie looks like he gets a little loose right there. The car just shoots down the racetrack towards the apron, and then he was just not comfortable all the way down into corner number 1. You see some close calls right there. The 26 right of Michael Lipp able to just get out of the way. The 61 of Peacock just barely getting through there. Same with that 66 as the 79 right gets down onto the apron, just trying to keep that car down and out of the way. And back there behind him as things were kind of getting a little checked up here. Drivers trying to avoid any additional issues between themselves and the 79 ride. We're going to see this number 5 of Dwayne Worley. Looks like he's going to get tied up here, as he's going to end up getting in there a little bit too hard. Things are kind of checking up in front of him. Unfortunately, just could not notice it quick enough, and he's going to end up getting into the back end here. Will Klein that's just going to jank up that rear end. Nothing he can do to try to keep that car under control. And the 5 of Klein hard up into the outside fence as the number 5 of Dwayne Worley will get some pretty good licks in here himself, and we're going to see that 999 get down and underneath of him there. A pretty big hit to the back bumper of that number 5 right here in for the 99 machine, trying to just get that car repaired and trying to stay out there on the racetrack and keep himself out of trouble. And unfortunately, some pretty good contact there between himself and that number 5 right. Almost just narrowly avoids more contact there with the lap down number 17 machine. So a couple big hits, a little bit more controversy here late in this race. More opportunities for drivers to try to get their cars repaired, maybe get back onto a bit of a different strategy and see if they can continue to race their way here at the front of the field. As out in front, it is Kenneth Fess who leads the way here in this one, as these caution laps definitely helping these drivers. If they were low on fuel there for a little bit, all these yellow flags, all these pace laps definitely helping out with their fuel mileage here this evening. We'll have to wait and see if they can all make it there on their own, or if we'll see someone have to be forced to come down pit lane and make one of these pit stops here late in the race and potentially give away a very, very good run here this afternoon, as We will get them ready to roll here once again. Door to door, down through quarter 3 and 4. The lights are off the official Iowa Racing pace car. And that means we'll go back to battle here at Iowa. As down low, the control car, Kenneth Vest back onto the lap pedal, looking to slide up in front of Aaron Benschneider. Benschneider trying to stay there to his outside, hoping for a big run down here through corner number 1 and 2. As you see that 5 right rolling back out onto the racetrack, Dwayne Worley back out there onto the speedway. Here, no caution right there as he is able to rejoin the field without any issues. And everyone keeps on trucking here this afternoon as out in front, Kenneth Betts looking for the race lead. You see that Hornet's Nest back there behind him as Benschneider sits in position number 2. It's now the 91 of Tyson Bankill up and into that 3rd position as the 26 of Michael Lipp now into 4th with Tyler Carnegie there in 5th. Caleb Todd, Josh Peacock, Alex Vance, and Chuck Sims rounding out our top 10 here on the racetrack. And Sims there rounding out the top 10 as everyone battling here for the last couple positions, trying to make sure that they can end this night off on the right foot. As out in front, Kenneth Vance continue to open up the lead here between himself and Aaron Benschneider. Benschneider trying to hold on to that 2nd position as Tyson Pankow looking to jump up and take it away from him as the white flag has been displayed. Look out! Tyson Pankow down onto the apron here. Pankow onto the apron. I think Pankow may be out of fuel here, and his night may be over as down the back straightaway for the final time here this afternoon. Kenneth Vest down through 3 and out of 4. No one will catch him, and it's going to be Kenneth Vest who picks up the checkered flag here this afternoon. Race number 1 win. Number 1 on the series goes to the number 1 car of Kenneth Vest. As Vest picks up the win, it's the 161 of Tyler Carnegie who will come home in 2nd, and it's Alex Vance in the 95 ride who will come home in position number 3, rounding out our podium and also picking up the hard charger here this evening. Started back in 18th, was able to work himself up 15 positions and into a podium run here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our top 3 for some post-race interviews, but we had some contact here a little later on. We did see the 91 ride, and you just watch this black and yellow ride. He's looking down to the inside here, hoping to make it to the end of this race, and all of a sudden just pulls down onto the apron. Unfortunately, he runs out of fuel, and then we see contact here. The 26 of Lipp trying to get around Aaron Benschneider, ends up getting into the back end of that K2 ride, and that's going to get Benschneider turned around. He just gets jacked up, spun around right there. Contact back for 2nd, and unfortunately, as everyone else trying to get through there, you do see Josh Ely in there. He's going to slide right on through the 26 and the K2. You also see 26 hard up into the outside wall. We did see Tyler Carnegie there get around them, and you'll see Alex Vance trying to keep himself in front of that 51 ride of Caleb Todd as more drivers deeper in the field going to get tied up in this big wreck down through corner number 2 and 3, as we'll see. Looks like the 5 of Will Klein, the 79 ride, also getting tied up here in this one, and even more damage out there on the speedway. As look here, where is the 79 ride? Ryan Carnegie comes home in 7th as they're wrecking here in front of them. Everyone just trying to keep themselves out of trouble, and all of a sudden 26 Ryan parked there in the middle of the racetrack. Tyler Carnegie nowhere to go. The beautiful black and gray car there, that is the number 5 of Dwayne Worley getting tied up in it again. The number 999 ride also tied up in it here for another big hit and another big wreck right there as well. That is the 18 machine of Jeffrey Anders tied up in that one, and people are just trying to work themselves through it as Anders and that K2 going to make more contact down through corner or the back straightaway, and so much beating and banging and bouncing around out there on the racetrack, man. These guys put on a heck of a show, heck of a race here for our first event of the season, and we'll get ready to pull our race winner up here into the broadcast booth. It's Kenneth Vest. Vest picking up the win and pulling this number one ride up and into victory lane as we'll get ready to jump into the broadcast booth with him as Todd Racing 51 says, I tried, just ran out of luck. I think a lot of drivers ran out of luck in this one as Bradley James says, dang, they wrecked Ben Schneider. Yeah, unfortunately for Ben Schneider, he ended up with the tough luck award there in that one. Unfortunately, nothing he could really do. Is Martin, what's good, Martin? Martin coming in, showing the love as well over there on YouTube. Coming in, says, hi, how are you? How are you? How you doing? As Ryan Carnegie says, ran out of fuel, was sitting happy in fourth. Oh, no, Ryan. I think there was a couple drivers there in those final laps that ended up running out of fuel. One of those being Pancal looked like he ran out of fuel. A few other drivers also running into that problem here in the closing laps. So, not the only one, brother. Not the only one that was running on fumes there late in this race. And unfortunately, a few of you guys did not make it back down across the start-finish line. As we'll get ready for our top three here down on pit road. We'll pull them up into the broadcast booth as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Kenneth Vess. Hey, Kenneth, it's Aaron up here on the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes.
Kenneth, man, a very good run, a solid performance here this afternoon for you as you're able to pick up the first win here on the season for the Bulletproof Motorsports Late Model Series, man. Take us back through this race. A lot of craziness, a few caution flags late in this one, bringing some tight competition to your back bumper and all around you here throughout the evening, man. What's going through your mind as you sit up and in victory lane?
I knew I had a fast car, just had to be patient, try to keep the tires under me. Then, towards the end, that one restart, I don't know what happened in front of me. I guess Josh and somebody else got together and got into that crash and had to go to the back. And then I knew then I just had to be calm and just focus because I had a good enough car to come back through the field and come back to the front to win.
Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you just got to be calm, cool, and collective. Let the race kind of come to you. Let other drivers run into problems, and it opens up here late in the race. You're able to make the move around Aaron Ben Schneider and take that race lead away, and from that point, you really never looked back. Even with a couple of restarts there, you're able to control them, able to get some good launches, some good restarts, and keep a pretty solid gap in, a little bit of the pressure off your back bumper out there on the speedway.
Yeah, then towards the end there, I was getting worried about fuel. Under cautions, I would try to just cut the car off and save what I could. When I crossed the checker flag, I had a half a lap of fuel left.
Yeah, there was a lot of drivers out there running on fumes, and a few of those drivers actually running out of gas here before that checkered flag as well. We saw Pankow just after the white flag was thrown. He was trying to work his way up and into second. All of a sudden, he jumps down to the apron. That car runs out, and a few other drivers like Ryan Carnegie and a couple other ones, unfortunately, running out of fuel as well here this evening. But man, you're able to hold on to it. Everything's able to work out perfectly for you. No more late race caution flags, and you find your way up and into victory lane here for our first race of the season. Kenneth, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there at Iowa Speedway?
I'd like to thank Josh for putting on this deal for us all. I'd like to thank you for streaming this and making it a part where everybody can see it. All the guys in Discord, the Career Motorsports, that gives me advice when I need it and tell me what I need to do, how I need to run things. And hopefully we can keep the season going strong going into next week.
Yeah, absolutely. Already off to a hot start. Already thinking maybe a couple more wins and an opportunity to race for the championship here this season with the Bulletproof Motorsports crew. And we can't wait to see how it all plays out and see if we can get that one right up and into victory lane a few more times here on the season. It's kind of a great start and a great race here for you. Congratulations once again on capturing the first checkered flag of the season. And we can't wait to see it back out there, trying to back it up, going 2 for 2 here to start the season next week.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your evening and don't party too hard down there in victory lane. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Kenneth Vance as Vance picks up the checkered flag and pulls that number 1 right up and into victory lane as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher, the 161 ride. It's Tyler Carnegie. Tyler coming home in position number 2 here this afternoon, and we'll pull Tyler up and into the broadcast booth. Hey, Tyler, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Tyler, man, a very solid run here for you this afternoon. Obviously, we saw you get tied up in a couple of the incidences out there on the racetrack, but late in this race, after a couple of those pit stops, you're able to, just keep your foot in the throttle, make up a lot of positions in there. Late in this race, you see some of that contact. You're able to get right around it and quickly slide into that second position, and coming home with that solid second place run with so many talented drivers out there on the racetrack. Definitely a great way to start this season, man. What's going through your mind right now?
Yeah, it was a crazy race. Got in a few wrecks. Sorry about that. You know, everybody started running out of gas, so I got up around them and I finished second.
Absolutely, coming home with a very solid second place run and having a strong showing here throughout a lot of this race. We saw you there for probably the first half or better before you ran into a couple issues out there with some of these late race caution flags. Also, we saw you up inside the top 10, battling just outside the top 5 there for a lot of laps here this evening, and obviously seeing the C's part, seeing some contact and some drivers running out of fuel later on really opened up the door for you to finish off a great night here at Iowa Speedway.
Yeah, I could hang up there with them, but I'd fall back just a hair. So I really got lucky on pits and crashes, and everything just went my way.
Absolutely, everything went your way right there. Unfortunately, just one spot shy of the checkered flag, but to start the season off with a solid second place run is a pretty good start here on the evening and on this season, and hopefully more great finishes like this one for you here over the next 7 weeks. As Tyler coming home in position number 2 here at Iowa Speedway, man, who would you like to thank for such a hot start here this season?
Yeah, BC Racing, RC Paints, my brother Aaron, Cody, and Ryan, my dad and mom, and for watching. Yeah. Oh, and Peacock for putting us on.
Beauty. Well, Tyler, a great run, a great race. Congratulations on that second place finish here this evening in our season opener. And we can't wait to see you back it up next week as we'll get you guys back out there on the racetrack next Monday. Hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth and maybe one spot better and up in victory lane.
Yep, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Tyler Carnegie as Tyler coming home in position number 2 here this afternoon. As Ryan Carnegie says, playa, yes sirski, playa right there. Tyler Carnegie coming in to position number 2 as Michael Murdoch coming in, showing the love with that like on the stream. Ryan Carnegie coming in with that heart reaction. Levi Williams coming in with that thumbs up as well. I'm sure I already shouted that out earlier, but we'll get shout it out again there. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we're not live just over on Facebook or YouTube. We're also live over on Twitch as well, and you can catch all the action on your favorite streaming platforms. As Todd Racing 51 says, I'll take hard charger, but I was so close for a top 3. Definitely close for a top 3, but Caleb, I don't think you were a hard charger, brother. Alex Vance, our third place finisher, is actually the hard charger here this afternoon. Vance up 15 positions. Vance started back in the 18th spot and somehow or another able to race his way up and into a third place finish here this afternoon. So hard charger and our third place finish going to the 95 of Alex Vance, as we'll pull Alex up here into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview. Hey Alex, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Alex, man, what a run, what a drive here, man, as you're able to go up 15 positions from where you started in and being able to pick up the hard charger and rounding out our podium finish in the first race of the season. What's kind of going through your mind here as the, fireworks have kind of ended and the smoke has settled here at Iowa Speedway?
I'm going to go with that was all luck, but I'm tickled to death.
Hey, sometimes it's better to be a little bit lucky than good out there on the racetrack, and things playing out perfectly for you. You're able to avoid some of those late race caution flags, some of those late race wrecks there, especially on that final lap. Line yourself up here to finish off the podium and keep a lot of these fast cats back there behind you throughout this race, especially at the start when you start back there in 18th and you see so many fast drivers there in front of you. Did you ever think at the end of the night that you'd be up here in the podium and talking to us up here in the broadcast booth?
Absolutely not. I was just trying to, I ain't run this thing in a couple years. I was just trying to get some laps and learn how to do this thing again. I wasn't real good, but, results showed, so that's good.
Yeah, absolutely. Results showed, man, and already off to a hot start getting back into the simulator. I don't know how much rust you got, but didn't seem like that much here in this race as you are able to hold that wheel pretty. We saw you racing up there, battling, trying to work yourself into the top 10 throughout this race, and then you're late in this one, man. Just right place, right time, and making those right moves to get yourself through that action and up here into position number 3.
Oh yeah, I'm tickled with the outcome. I'm good with it. Don't know how it happened, but hey, seas parted.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Alex, a great run and a great start to the season, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
All my buddies Chuck and Dwayne helping me get settled back in this thing. I got to thank them for sure.
Beauty. Well, Alex, a great race, a great comeback here to the simulator, and hopefully more and more great finishes like this for you throughout the season, and maybe a run for a championship here, your first time back out there on the sim after a couple of years, and hopefully one of these races we'll see back up here in victory lane as well.
Absolutely. I had a ball racing with these guys.
Beauty. Well, we can't wait to see you back in action next Monday and see if you can back it up here again with another podium finish.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. See you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher and our hard charger picking up 15 positions here this evening. It is Alex Vance coming home in position number 3. Man, what a run and what a drive there for that 95 machine as we'll get ready to, unfortunately, call it a night here as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, racing action coming to a close here this afternoon. A great first race back with the Bulletproof Motorsports crew in the Bulletproof Late Model Series, powered by JP Designs, Bulletproof Motorsports, and Down South Productions here this evening as Drake Haynes says good try, Ryan Carnegie. And yeah, man, some great congratulations there for Carnegie, some great reactions there for a lot of these drivers coming home with some great racing and some great action there as Ryan Carnegie says, woo, puked, that's my brother and Aaron. But he sucks. Yeah, unfortunately, some love-hate relationships out there on the racetrack. Sometimes you want to see your family do good. Sometimes you don't want to see them do better than yourself. And sometimes you just want to see them survive out there. We saw, obviously, Aaron Benschneider going around there on that final lap, trying to just come home in position number 2. And all of a sudden, it kind of flips the tables. And Aaron Benschneider comes back home in 13th, where Tyler Carnegie comes back up and finishes there in 2nd. So some pretty crazy finishes, some pretty crazy ways to end this race. And some drivers that were looking to potentially have some absolutely amazing finishes, like Michael Lipp, who ends up coming home in 14th there after having a very strong showing in a very strong race and not really getting much out of it. Same with James Miller and Dwayne Worley and a lot of these guys, man, that were having such good races, seeing them kind of go out the window there late in this one. It's Alex Vance, Mr. Vance, coming in, becoming a brand new follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Alex, welcome to the Peacemaker family. Is the Down South production crew coming in as well, hitting that follow button, becoming a brand new our family member here on Peacemaker Gaming as Kenneth Lee coming in with the like on the stream, Down South Production coming in with that like and the share. Jeffrey Anders, Mr. Anders coming in as well, smashing that follow button, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here this evening, as well as, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't appreciate you guys enough coming in, showing the love here in this one. All the likes, the comments, the shares, I appreciate each and every single one of you. As Mr. Peacock coming in with that like as well. Josh says a lot of new faces, got to get acquainted. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of new drivers, a lot of new faces in new places, and obviously a bit of a different race car, and everyone just kind of get their feet underneath them. Race number 1, you know, I think it is a win, man. There really wasn't too many caution flags out there. It's just some good, tight racing, and then obviously, I'm sure there's probably going to be a couple drivers upset with how that kind of finished there towards the end, but nonetheless, great action, some great fun, and great to see all these Bulletproof Motorsports rides and all these amazing drivers back out there on the racetrack, and seeing some new faces and some, you know, old faces here on the Speedway again, battling door to door out there, and we can't wait to see him back out there next Monday, as well as Matthew Peacock, the other Peacock out there on the racetrack, coming in, showing the love with the like on the stream as well. I appreciate that, Matthew. I appreciate that, Josh. Both coming in, showing the love with the reactions as well here this evening. As unfortunately, that will do it for us here this evening, man. Some great racing action, a lot of battling there on the Speedway, and it all comes to a close here at Iowa Speedway as race number 1 of the season comes to an end. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here this afternoon. If you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. As my boy Matthew Peacock coming in, becoming a brand new follower here on Facebook as well. Matthew, welcome to the Peacemaker family as well, smashing that follow button. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for watching. We will be back live again tomorrow night for some absolutely amazing playoff racing with the NASCAR trucks in our Michael's Warrior Project Truck Series here tomorrow evening. So I can't wait to see you guys back in here, and can't wait to see these guys in the Bulletproof Late Model Series back in action next Monday as they will go back to battle here on Peacemaker Gaming. But thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out for now, baby. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Kicking dust up under moonlit skies. Throttle wide open, no compromise. Tires screaming loud, dirt flies free. Adrenaline rushing, it's just you and me. Engines roaring in a mad race. Mud splashing on every face. Rivals on the track ain't got a chance in this chaos we call our dance. Slide on the edge, feeling alive. Every heartbeat keeps the dream alive. Fast lane chasing every twist and turn. In the fire we crash and burn. Leading the pack, but the night is young. Running circles till the final song. Not just a game, but a war unchained. In the dust and mud, we're permanently stained. Rolling through the night, lights blur and blend. Round and round the track, no clear end. Freedom found in every spin. In the dirt we find our way. Yeah! under moonlit skies. Throttle wide open, no compromise. Tires screaming loud, dirt flies free. Adrenaline rushing, it's just you and me. Engines roaring in a mad race. Mud splashing on every face. Rivals on the track ain't got a chance in this chaos we call our dance. Slide on the edge, feeling alive. Every heartbeat keeps the dream alive. Fast lane chasing every twist and turn. In the fire we crash and burn. Leading the pack, but the night is young. Running circles till the fire